Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the first step of our Quran journaling course. Before we learn how to reflect on the Quran, we first need to build a relationship with it. That relationship begins with engagement. Think about a couple who have just become engaged. Before marriage, they spend time getting to know one another, their likes, dislikes, habits, and personality. A relationship grows through spending time together. Our relationship with the Quran is similar. Before we start analyzing verses or writing reflections, we first spend time to get to know Allah's words. We let the Quran become something we interact with, not just something we recite. What will you need? You will need a copy of the Quran with a translation in a language you understand, and a quiet time each day. Just about 15 to 30 minutes is enough. Don't try to read large portions. Read just one page a day, but read it with engagement. So, what does engagement mean? There are two simple ways to engage with the Quran. Engagement during recitation. As you recite, don't simply move from one verse to the next. Pause and respond to what Allah is saying. For example, if you come across a verse about Jannah, such as those who believe and do righteous deeds will be the people of paradise, they will remain there forever. Surah Al-Baqarah 282. Pause for a moment and say, Ya Allah, please grant me Jannah. Imagine yourself entering paradise. Let your heart respond. And if you read a verse about Allah's forgiveness, such as race towards your Lord's forgiveness, just pause and say, Astaghfirullah, Ya Allah, please forgive me. And if you read a verse warning about punishment or hellfire, like the verses describing those whose hearts have been sealed, then seek protection. Say, Allah, save me from the hellfire. Protect me from this punishment. This is engagement. And this is engagement during recitation. You're not analyzing the verse. You are simply talking to Allah through His words. Every verse becomes the beginning of a conversation between you and your Lord. Now, the second method of engagement is engagement in Salah. And this actually, our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam showed us this beautiful way of connecting with the Quran. There is an authentic hadith that tells us that when he recited the verse, if you punish them, they are your servants, and if you forgive them, indeed you are the Almighty, the All-Wise. This was from Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse number 118. He repeated this single verse throughout the night while crying before Allah in one rakat. Sometimes one verse speaks exactly to what your heart is feeling. So if suppose you're desperately in need of something, repeat the dua of Musa alayhi salam. Try to memorize this dua and try to repeat it. My Lord, I'm truly in need of whatever good you send down to me. Repeat it in your voluntary prayers as you stand before Allah. You're not only reciting His words, you're making dua with His words. By chance you are sick and you want to get rid of your sickness, you want a cure, then repeat the dua of Ayub alayhi salam. Indeed, hardship has touched me, and you're the most merciful of those who show mercy. Try to memorize these duas, these verses, and repeat them continuously, prolonging your salah. And suppose you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious and distressed, repeat the dua of Yunus alayhi salam, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minas solimin. So choose the verses that reflect what your heart is experiencing and keep repeating them in your salah. It becomes a heartfelt conversation with Allah. So, a quick summary: engagement of the Quran is of two types. One is engagement during recitation, responding to each verse. And the second is engagement in Salah, where you repeat verses that match your situation. Remember, this is not tadabbur yet, okay? Right now, we are simply building a connection with the Quran. We are allowing its sweetness to enter our hearts and become comfortable speaking to Allah through His words. Be consistent with this. Practice it every day, even if it's only one page. Inshallah, this simple habit will prepare your heart for the next step. In our next lesson, we will begin how to reflect on the Quran, how to start journaling, and with small reflections. That is, we'll take our very first baby steps into tadabbur together.